Today is Monday, the 3rd of July. So, doing a bit of a weekly outlook. There's a few pairs and some setups lining up that I want to cover for you guys. A few things to take note of. First is tomorrow is the 4th of July. So here in the US, that is a US holiday. So just be aware of that. That's probably going to be a pretty quiet day in the markets, okay, in particular for the New York session. Now for me, the way I kind of view it is if the market is open, which it still is, all right, I'm actively still looking for trades. I'm still looking for entries, but it is less likely we'll see a lot of movement. You typically will see a lot of consolidation, and then things will kind of pop off and begin to move as we head into Asia, later in the day. Okay, so let's have a look at some news coming out between now and Friday. So today, in about 5 hours, late in Asia, we do have RBA interest rate decision, which typically this will have some form of movement or volatility with it, so keep that in mind. Okay, tomorrow, not really much here we need to be aware of. Wednesday, we do have some PMI coming out of the Euro, but again, PMI is pretty hit or miss. The one I want you guys to kind of be aware of is going to be the USD FOMC news releasing later in the day. This, again, is pretty hit or miss these days. FOMC used to be, something you definitely want to be cautious around. These days, it doesn't really do much. Thursday, not really much here as well. Again, some PMI, some jobs news, nothing really crazy. Friday is the big one, which we do have some Euro news, some CAD news, but the main one, pretty much I want everyone to be aware of, is non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll is the biggest news release out of the US every single month. It's always the first Friday of every month. But honestly, the last one to maybe 2 years, year and a half, non-farm payroll doesn't really do much these days. If you were to go back a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, NFP, it was just wild all over the place. These days, not really much, okay? Still something to be aware of, as there could be shifts in volatility, some wicking, things like that. So just be aware of that. Okay, that releases right around the New York Open on Friday. So as we see here, there's not really much in terms of things you need to be aware of, like interest rate decisions, inflation rate, all of that. Okay, so there's a few pairs I want to bring to you guys' attention, starting off with NZDUSD. Now last week I did post a few setups for you guys, which actually ended up playing out. I covered these in the weekly outlook and along with posting them. So NZDUSD posted this one, ended up playing out for over, what was it, 118, 120 pips. So you would have taken profit through here, and right now it's pulled back. So I am looking for a re-entry there, which I'll cover as well. And then NZD-CAD is another pair I covered in the weekly outlook video, which also ended up playing out as well. All right. So today, at least as of right now, I'm going to cover NZDUSD, NZD-CAD, NZDJPY, AUDUSD, and AUDUSD. For some potential setups that are lining up for the earlier part of this week. So NZDUSD, looking for possible sells here after this fake out last week. So what I'm really kind of looking for is pretty much further rejections here, ideally on the 1 hour or 2 hour. All right, we kind of have a few taps in the structure as we see here off of this 61,500 level. So if we can get some more bearish price action, I'll definitely be looking for a re-entry on this to take this thing lower. As always, I always like to look at everything in two different ways of the market. Okay, we could see this break higher, which means what I'll be looking for, if the sell setup doesn't give, then I'll be looking for this to break higher, come back, retest this 61,500 sort of region, and looking for a buy to then push up into like 0.62500, 0.63 thousand. Okay, last week this was a nice little one to 3.4. So hopefully we can get a nice sell from here to take this thing lower again, or that bias. Either way, we have one of two setups lining up for us this week. Okay, NZD-CAD is another pair I'm very interested in. I'm currently looking for sells. However, I'm pretty sure this will go higher. Now the thing is, guys, I don't trade with a bias. I simply trade what I see. Okay, so as of right now, at the time making this video, I am looking for possible sells. I would like to see more taps in the structure, some more bearish price action. Okay, I'm not really convinced as of yet. To me, it looks like a lot of AUD and NZD pairs are pushing higher. Okay, but things can change pretty quick. So if I can get some nice bearish rejections here on the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, I'll be looking for possible sells to take this thing back down into like 0.80200. So like a sell from in here, for example, back down into here. It's a nice little 1 to 4, 125 pips. And of course, it could always break lower and hit like 0.8 thousand, 0.75, right, which is a nice little one to 6.7. So it just depends on what we get in terms of price action. Otherwise, what we could see is, like I said, as of right now, I'm looking for sells, but I do think it might break higher. So if that is the case, then I'll look for simply this sort of break retest to 81,500 to look to take this up in towards like a 0.83 thousand. So if we can get that sort of break retest, some nice bullish patterns, price action, things like that, we can then look for a buy. Buys up into 0.83 thousand is, again, a nice little 4.5. So just depends on what price does between now and kind of tomorrow. That'll kind of give us the outlook for the week ahead, but definitely watching this pair right now, okay? Another pair I'm interested in is NZDJPY. This pair has just been amazing this last month, just giving some beautiful trades. I'm in no rush to sell JPY pairs, okay? You know, they're just super bullish right now. The yen is very, very weak, so they're just continuously pushing higher. And like I said, it does look like a lot of NZD and AUD pairs are also going to go higher, so therefore it's a safe bet that this will probably push higher as well. So technically right now I'm looking for sells, but like I said, I'm thinking it's going to break higher. If it does go higher, then I'll be looking for something like this. A break and retest is 89,000 level, 88,800 to then take this up into 90,000. If I can get a buy from in here, go with a bit of a wider stop loss, right? Up at the 9,000, it's an easy 3.5, 110 pips. But again, JPY pairs don't look like they're slowing down. So if this was hit 91,000, which 200 pips on this pair is absolutely nothing. That's an easy 6.7 plus. Okay, just depends on what price does. So I would suggest, you know, looking for, at least as of right now, like I said earlier, I am looking for sells. But if it does break higher, I'd be simply looking for this break retest of this specific price point, some patterns, some bullish rejections, and looking to take this up into at least 90,000, and then from there we can kind of evaluate. Okay. AUDJPY, 100% looking for buys right now. Break retest of 96,500. So what I would like to see here would be a bit more bullish rejection. Okay, if I can get like another tap in the structure, something like this, I'll be looking for a buy entry up into 97,500, 97,800. An easy buy from here, guys. Like this just looks beautiful. A buy from in here. So I still 1 to 3.3, but again, most JPY pairs look like they're going to go higher. So therefore, you can kind of assume it might even push up towards 99,000, which again is a 1 to 7. Now, 255 pips for this pair is nothing. JPY pairs can move very quick, very fast, right? It could do 250 pips in a day or in a few days. So definitely watching this. But again, guys, you know I look at both sides of the markets. Let's say this is a fake out and price ends up breaking lower. I'll simply be looking for that break retest to take this thing right back down into that 95,500 or even 95,200 region. Okay, so keep an eye on that as well. And then a last pair I want to look at is AUDUSD. Currently looking for buys from here. Again, another AUD pair that currently looks bullish. Break retest of 0.66, sort of 500 region. Looking for another tap into structure. If I can get more patterns, more taps into structure, I'll be looking for a buy entry to take this thing right up into 0.68 thousand. So again, an entry from down here into 0.68. Like this would just be an easy move. 0.68 thousand is right here. It's only 130 pips. That's a nice little 1 to 5.6. A nice one to maybe 1 to 5 if you want to use a bit wider of a stop loss. Still a very easy setup. So you have what, 5 pairs there to look at, okay, between now and Wednesday. And as more pairs become clearer, I'll begin to post about them. But for now, that's some very easy, very clean setups lining up that could definitely give between, say, now and maybe tomorrow even, okay? One last thing, guys, is I do have the 4th of July sale active as of today. All right, I'll put the post out with this video. 100% recommend you guys jump in. I very rarely do sales, and this is a pretty big one, and spots are limited within the mentorship program. I have it capped, okay? That way I can give each of you, enough one-on-one. I want to get the entire team full-time. I just had a trader, Dylan, last week get his first 100K payout, so I'm looking to create other 6-figure traders. Now we have a whole group of traders winning and, getting out of that 9 to 5 and, living and sustaining for themselves. So hope to see you guys join. Otherwise, let's have a great week. As always, be patient in the market, use proper risk management, and I'll update you guys throughout the week.